Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Backstage Spotlight. I'm so excited to introduce you this week to Lucy Adcock.
Hello, everybody.
So, Lucy, would you like to introduce yourself and say what role you have in the industry now and how you got into it?
Yeah, so I'm Lucy Jane Adcock. I trained at Lane Theatre Arts when I was 18. Um, I was actually a performer for, it sounds like a long time, but about 20 years. I did teach alongside that as kind of an in-between job, but it was only when I had my first little boy that I really started really getting to teaching and a bit of choreography. And I sometimes think I don't really know where I belong in the industry right now. I feel like I'm kind of in between lots of different things. 'Cause I'm not performing anymore. I'm not really a choreographer. I guess I'm a teacher for professionals. I guess that's what I'd say I am now. But everything is kind of still open. I'm still open to perform one day, maybe. My boys are older, and I love to choreograph as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
How were you as a kid? Were you very energetic? How did you get into dancing?
Well, it's funny because I wasn't really like how I am now, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're such a powerhouse, you're a machine." Not my words, by the way. That is that other people say that, and I guess I've got a lot of energy, but yeah, I wasn't that kind of kid. I was really shy, had no coordination. Um, I didn't really take it seriously till I was about 14, 15. And I went to see a production of Fame at my local theatre, and it was a life-changing moment. And I was like, oh my God, it like hit me, and I talk about this a lot in when I teach about, and something just gets you in your soul. And I'm like, just like get you in your soul, and I remember them standing at the front of the stage going, I'm alive, that moment. And I went, oh, that's what I want to do. I was like, I need to do this. And I think that's when I really started working. I always worked hard, but I really changed my mindset. I was like, I'm going to do this for a living. And then, yeah, really started to really knuckle down in my local dance school. And then back there, it sounds like back in the day because it was a long time ago now, but people didn't really go off to train. It
Yeah.
was quite rare. So I was one of the first in my area to go and do it. So I was quite brave actually to know. And I just came down to audition and fell in love with lanes and the how it was like Fame in when I walked into the foyer. And yeah, then started training and the rest history really. Just
Yeah.
so lucky.
How did you find like doing school alongside it, knowing that you wanted to go and go into the performance industry?
Well, I'm a bit of a perfectionist in everything I do.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like I was going to school going, oh, I don't need this. It's that I've got this weird mindset of I've got to try and be the best at everything. And even though I hated math and things like that, I was still in the top set because I just worked so hard to try and, and I knew I only needed this amount of GCSEs to do the BTEC I wanted to do, but I needed to get every single one of them. Yeah, it's a weird kind of pressure I put on myself, and I've always been like that, whatever I'm doing. So that was a lot, like at that time. So it was nice to finish school and then just have that to concentrate on.
Yeah. I suppose as well when you're at that age and like you said, you were the only like the first person in your area to go off and do something like that.
Yeah,
I bet you think like you don't want to close any doors. Like what if like things
yeah,
backfire? You
exactly.
don't want to have
Yeah,
nothing
I had
to go
no
back on to.
idea.
Yeah.
And I think people kind of go to train now knowing what they want to do after. And I always think it's weird when people don't, but I don't think I did back then. I knew as far as getting into lanes, and then I didn't really know after that. Obviously, I'd seen Fame and I thought that's what I want to do, but I didn't know how possible that would be. And it was at the first meeting with Miss Lane when she said, if you've got something to fall back on, you'll fall back. And it was like saying, you shouldn't have
Oh,
anything, this should be it. And
yeah.
whereas I don't think it's the same now. I think it's so saturated. I feel like people need to have a little something in the back of their mind. But that's when I was like, right, we're all in from day one. I don't need anything else. I'm gonna make it, you
Yeah.
know,
And
as
what
Betty Lane
hard
said.
work. Yeah, it's such hard work. How was your audition period?
For lanes or for
Did you audition for many? Like when you auditioned, did you go for just
only
one or?
two.
Yeah.
It was called Doreen Bird at the time, not just Bird,
Yeah.
and lanes. And when I went to Bird, no word of a lie, after the ballet class, they took me into a room to do a bit of an assessment of my body. I don't know if this would be allowed now. It was like a physio, I
Yeah,
think.
I think they
And they
do
said
like
to,
physio checks still.
did they? I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
for
And
like
I had to do an
scoliosis and
arabesque.
stuff like that.
Yes, or maybe it was that. But my arabesque has never been good. So I did an arabesque, and they kind of said to me, your body isn't right to be a dancer. You
Oh,
need to. It was not those words, but I remember thinking, they don't think my body's trainable. I think that's kind of what they were saying. I
yeah,
did get in, but didn't get any money. I was like, I don't want to be trained
so
by these
hard.
people that, oh, it was a horrible day. I was like, oh, but then lanes were very welcoming and yeah, but how awful's that? I feel like going back there and saying, excuse me, you got that a bit wrong because I'm still going.
So when you were at Lane, like, what do you think were your biggest challenges? And if you could look back, what would you wish you had done differently?
Oh, I just loved my time there so much. Loved it. It was the perfect place for me to go. Um, I was predominantly a dancer. I knew I could sing, but that place made me a singer. It made me, I don't like the words triple threat, but I left there everything being equal. And when I was starting audition, I didn't mind which round I did first. And I always say to people, that's where you want to be when you leave training, to not be like, oh, I've got to sing first, or oh, I've got
Yeah.
to dance first, to go, I don't mind which one I do first. And that's where they got me to. And I just found that amazing. They just brought it out of me. There was a particular guy at the time called Fraser Skiot. Skill. I think that's right. He was MD of Lion King, and he just joined after maybe my mid first year, second year. So he didn't know anybody's stereotype or whatever anyone was pigeonholed as. And he really like warmed to me, and I was a singer in his eyes, and it
Oh,
really helped. And I remember writing him a card when I left, going, "You changed my life."
yeah.
So yeah, it's just really inspiring for me there.
Yeah. It's so nice when you get a teacher that hasn't seen you dancing or hasn't seen you singing, like a singing teacher, for example, that then comes and watches you dance in the show, and then they
I
all like
know.
piece it together and they're like, whoa,
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah,
nice. So
yeah.
leaving college, how did you get your first job?
Well, my first job, I didn't have one on graduation, but it was the middle of that summer that I got a job. It was Beauty and the Beast was my first ever job.
Oh,
The massive Disney tour. It was before someone else, I think UK Productions took it on later on, but it was massive. It was the one that had been in the Dominion, and then they took it on. It was a sit down tour, so we only did 3 venues in the whole year. It
oh
was
wow.
Southampton, Manchester, Edinburgh. The best first job, I can't even tell you.
Oh
It
wow.
was amazing. And I remember being so green and so grateful to be there. And I said to someone in the dressing room, I can't believe we get paid for this. Like that. And it was someone that had been in the business for ages, and they were like, yeah. I must have been so annoying. And I didn't take one day off except one day's holiday to watch the show because I loved it
Wow.
so much. Like,
Oh, that's like a dream job. Like Disney's worked so
yeah,
wholesome.
yeah. I
So
remember being
nice.
so overwhelmed in rehearsals though, coming straight from Lanes and then being sat in a vocal call with what was his name? Gary Christ, I think, was our MD. Just had done so many West End shows, MD'd so many shows. He's like throwing harmonies at me. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But yeah, I learned so much on that job actually.
What is that initial step from training to the industry like?
That's the word, is overwhelming and a bit intimidating, especially for someone like me that, I mean, I've got confidence in myself, but I think everyone does it. It's just that doubt or that imposter thing of, I've auditioned, I've earned my place in this show, but as soon as you start, you go, oh my God, I shouldn't be here. Oh my God, everyone's so much better. Everyone's older, everyone's done this, this, this. I'm just fresh out of college. So
Yeah.
it's like dealing with all of that as well as like we hadn't done that we'd done harmonies in shows. I think they do a lot more of that kind of thing at Lanes now, but
Yeah.
I don't remember sitting with music through a whole vocal score learning a harmony, you know? So
Yeah.
over the years, like that's become a bit easier, but that was definitely a challenge for me.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
In between jobs, how did you like fill time? Because with the industry being so unpredictable, it can't be a full source of income when you're just starting out. What advice would you give to performers in between jobs that are young and still needing money?
I guess it's get something that's flexible. That was the best thing for me.
Yeah,
Where whoever, you know, or something that you can say, I need 3 weeks off to do this job, but I do
yeah.
need a job to come back to. That's so rare. I mean, which manager of anywhere wants to do that? So I was so lucky to actually go straight back to teach at Lanes. I was teaching at Lanes as soon as I left, really. Because I remember being at the summer school of Lanes when I found out about Beauty and the Beast. And
Oh, no
Trudy
way.
Davies told me about it. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, it was such a moment. Um, so that my in between jobs has always been teaching.
yeah,
So that's been really because obviously wherever you teach understands that you're only there. Well, it sounds awful, but not like you're only there until you get a job. Because I do love teaching as well, but it's very flexible.
yeah. It's really good when you have an employer that understands the industry and that you can be called out like for
Yeah.
the next week or something like that.
Yeah, there's loads of people in my class because I run my open classes at the minute and
Yes.
um all this kind of sports shops like Lululemon, Gymshark, they seem to hire a lot of performers. I think they
Oh,
just
that's
like them
good.
on the shop floor because of their confidence and they take them on runs together and stuff and do loads of social media with them. But they are so understanding of auditions and
That's really
jobs and
good.
things. Yeah, so that's good to know.
Yeah, very
Uh,
good to know. How
yeah,
how do you find doing your open classes?
it's my favorite thing in the world.
Oh,
I am literally so lucky to have gone from loving what I do on stage so much. Like people laugh at me because they're like, "Oh my God, the joy." I've got so much joy for what I do. And I thought, when am I ever going to get that again when I'm not on stage anymore? But I get it from open classes. I just love them because everybody in the room wants to be there. Like their drive is like mine, because obviously you only come to a class like mine when you want to work your arse off. You know what I
yes.
mean? Like that half an hour warm up or 25-minute warm up. Just being in a room full of people like that and dancing my stuff, I choose the music, I choreograph it. No one's there going, I think you should try this. I think you should, like, you're your own
Yeah.
boss. Like it's just,
Yeah, it's like
and
a
I do that twice a week and I just love it.
so good. What's your process for preparing for those classes? Like, how do you choose the music? How do you like choreograph to it?
Well, after doing it since I think I started it in 2018 because I
Whoa,
did it before I
pre-lockdown.
had my first little boy. Yeah. So obviously I've had breaks from it to have two little boys, lockdown. I think they were the only reasons it was this job. But so obviously that's a lot of musical theatre dance breaks that I've had to find over that time. I don't even know how I find it. I've got this massive playlist on Spotify called Ideas, and anytime I hear anything, I put it straight in there. So
Yeah.
if one week I'm going, oh, what should I do? I just look down what I haven't done yet. And it'll be like even in a restaurant, I'll be like, oh, and I'll be like, Shazam. Or I do a lot of conventions or adjudicating, and sometimes
Yeah.
someone will come on with a bit of music and I'll be like, Shazam it. And I'll be like, that'll be next week. For
Yeah.
some reason I haven't run out yet, but I'm waiting for the day.
Oh, the possibilities endless.
Think so.
So from like a panel sort of view, like in an audition, if you were holding an audition, what would you look for?
Well, do you mean as a rounded performer or in a dance call? Probably dance
Um,
call, if you go
yeah, let's
for.
go with dance call.
Um, passion,
Yeah.
passion, joy. I say joy because it's probably going to be a joyful thing that I'd be on the panel for, something really theatrical and MT. And this is a note I often give to people. If a choreographer sees a dancer loving your stuff, then it's really appealing. Like if I teach an 8 and then I see someone, and doing so, I love this. Like I go, oh, they love my stuff, and it's actually really flattering. It
Yeah.
sounds weird, not just doing it like a robot. It's going, oh, really, oh, they're on my page with that. And I think in the past when I've auditioned for people, I really feel that, and oh, I love the way they felt that music at that point, and it's just, yeah, I think that's a massive thing for a choreographer. And
Yeah.
then you think, well, they're going to be in a room of people that love their stuff as much as they do. So I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, for
And then
sure.
I always say the first, however, like one bar of music to get the panel's attention. And if you have to like hoover up to the middle of a routine and then give it your best end, you've lost them by there's too many people in that room. It's like if you're going to sing a song, the first bar, it's like, there I am. Oh, I want to listen to that, or I want to watch that person.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
it's just
really
in the
tough.
from word go. Yeah, it's so all these little tricks. And people, when I used to audition, would do something subconsciously, like a big clap or a let's go, or a, just something to go, oh, and then subconsciously that person is then watching that person because of that. It's
Yeah.
just like little tricks. And I'd be like,
Yeah, little tips and tricks. So
yeah.
then from like the auditionee's perspective, so going into those dance calls, what advice would you give for like preparing for it, like your mental state? What would your preparation be before going into the room?
Oh, well, I used to be really good at auditioning and not get myself in a state, but the more work I did, the harder it got. For some reason, I felt this massive pressure. Like I'd walk in and people would expect a certain something of me because, oh, she just finished that shot and let's watch her. And I hated that so much.
Yeah,
So it's just going in and trying to block everybody else out, which is so hard because everyone's stretching and giving it, top C warm ups, and that it's just intimidating. And you let yourself get, and you kind of do that and close off. It's just blocking people out, really.
yeah, staying in
And
your own lane.
yeah, and actually, someone was messaging me today auditioning for something and was a bit anxious about it. And I was saying, you've earned the right to be in this. Like I'm saying all this advice, but to myself, I never used to. But if you've got a space in that room, you're in a private call, you've earned that right to be there. So just own it, and you've got one chance. Just absolutely go for it. No inhibitions or no kind of, oh, maybe there's no next time. Just do it, like you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. What would you say your favorite job was that you ever did performing?
Chorus line. People
Oh,
will laugh at that because I go on about it a lot and I teach it a lot. And all my anecdotes are about chorus line. I've got the chorus line sit ups in my warm up. It just was like life changing job.
you played
Love.
Cassie.
No, I played Judy Turner, number
Oh,
23,
okay.
and I was understudy Cassie.
Yes, because I saw a
Okay.
video where you were Cassie.
Oh yeah,
So good.
loved it. Just life changing. Like to work with the original creative team, obviously the show for a performer, it's everything you
So good.
relate to.
Yeah.
Everything is just heartbreaking or joyful. We just cried every day in rehearsals.
Oh,
The other thing about that show is everyone's got a named part.
yeah.
So it's not a hierarchy of the lead and the ensemble. It's that everyone is there because they're a part and they all have their moment in the show. So, things like opening night, everyone's like, oh, everyone's the same kind of level of anxiety, and
Yeah.
just everybody was in it. There wasn't anyone that was, oh, I don't know this, oh, I can't be bothered with this. Sounds horrible, but there are some jobs where people aren't quite as happy as others on it. But
Yeah.
it just felt like a team the whole time.
That's so nice.
It was amazing.
If in
Yeah.
the future you could pick any role to play, like dream role for the future, if you got back into performing, like what would it be?
There's a couple actually. Billy Elliot, Mrs. Wilkinson,
Ah,
because I think I'd
yes.
probably be kind of getting old enough to play that now. Um, yeah. It's my birthday yesterday.
Yes.
Um, and then I'd love to go back and because I covered Mrs. Wormwood on Matilda.
Yeah, how
It's a
was that?
similar role, isn't it? Oh, it was amazing. But
That
I
is
feel
such
like
a
they're
fun role,
similar roles. Oh, it's brilliant. But I swear it's the hardest stamina role
is
ever
it?
done. And that's after doing Cassie, which was that 7 minute solo.
Yes.
But Mrs. Wormwood is something else. That loud, you're belting, you're doing full out choreography, walkovers, you've got this big wig that is the heaviest thing in your life. That they actually change sides weekly, I think, for the actual part because it's so heavy.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, and the choreography is, like, out of this world, and then you've done all this dance for it, you jump on a table, there's a key change, and you're belting loud at the top of yours. You come up and, like, it never gets easier. It's not one that you can dance in or sing in, you'll
Yeah.
always be tired even after a year of doing it. So there's that part,
Yeah.
and then the other day I went to see MJ for the first time,
How
and it
was
was just
that?
life-changing in I haven't got words enough to describe how good it was and how
Oh,
inspiring it was. And there were some ladies in it, and I was so proud.
yeah.
Oh, and I was second row in the stall, so I could just see the sweat and the passion.
Yeah.
And there was a part in it that Pip Stefani played that I thought was so amazing. It was lovely. She sang Human Nature, which is the best song in the show. But yeah, that weirdly that part as well. So maybe them three parts
Yeah.
that I love.
All good. Nothing's impossible.
Well, I don't know.
What's the work-life balance now that you've had your boys? And I know that you go to the gym a lot and you're very like into the active lifestyle. What's
Mm.
like your week balance of spending enough time with the boys and working?
Well, I'm quite lucky because it looks like I'm super busy, but say today it's my class day, but my class is only an hour and a half, well, hour and 40 minutes. So, I'm lucky to have spent the whole. Rest of the day with them.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, and tomorrow I work at a college called Addict in Leicester.
Yes,
So and I don't start until 1:45, so I have a bit of time with them. That's kind of the main day that I'm away from them.
Thursday.
And then, yeah, so really I only work Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, and then all my freelance stuff that crops up. But it's very rare that I'm gone for a whole day, really, unless, it's a choreography job where it's a couple of weeks here and there. But yeah, I'm actually really lucky to
Yeah,
see them so much and still do what I love as well.
yeah.
Yeah, it's hard work though because it's early starts, very physical with them, running around the park and then having to choreograph and prep and gym as well. And
Yeah.
just,
Have you
yeah.
always been into the gym?
Yeah.
Because I look at
What,
some
what,
of your like reels on Instagram and I'm like, how are you doing that?
well, I haven't been for a while actually, but it got a little bit busy, but yeah, it's my other love, and when I had the boys especially, it was kind of my mental outlet. When I'd had a tough day, it was really good just to
Yeah,
get away for an hour, do something, and come back a bit refreshed. Um, but I think it's just so important alongside what we do. And I
yeah,
always say that to dancers in my class. That's why my warm up is very strength and conditioning,
yeah,
orientated. I just think it's so important, stamina and when I started getting really into the gym, I noticed my jazz was more edgy. I could really hit things hard as I had something behind me
she's got
when
more
I was,
control.
yeah. And
Yeah.
obviously, when I met Chris, it escalated because he's a PT and gym manager. So that, I got a lot more into it then. Because I didn't used to do it as much when I was working a lot. I didn't do it as much, but some shows are so physical that it's hard to go to the gym as well. So it was often
Yeah.
in between shows I would go. If I was going to do chorus line, I could never have gone to the gym in the day. I was so precious about what I ate, and had loads of energy last night. What did I eat yesterday? How much sleep did I get? "Oh, I shouldn't have gone on that walk because I didn't have enough energy for that." It's like it
Yeah,
really does take over your life when you're doing a show like that, like the discipline and
I can imagine. You got to alter your whole routine.
yeah. And when you're in a certain costume as well, because obviously it was very exposing, just a leotard and
Yes.
tights.
Yeah.
So, and the feeling of if you're eating too much or if you haven't eaten
Mhm.
enough, it was yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice not to have that anymore. I do miss performing so much, but that I don't think I could maintain that with the boys now.
Yeah.
Because I can't say how much sleep I'm gonna get. I can't, I'm like stealing their chicken nuggets and chips and and not really looking after myself as much, maybe. But
Yeah, it's hard,
it's a
but
different
maybe when
life.
they get older, it'll be easier to manage
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Who knows? I think you'll get back on stage.
Do you?
Yeah, I
People
can
say
see
this
it.
all the time.
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
like
see it,
Jackie
but then
Jameson in Kiss Me Kate. Like, I could just
inspiring.
see you doing a
What
Jackie Jameson.
what a
I
legend.
know.
I can't that woman is such an inspiration to so many people.
Yeah. I can see you doing
Yeah, I don't know. Well, mine are only 4 and 2, so
That's
very
still
much
very
independent.
hands-on parenting.
Yeah. But it would be nice for them to see me in something because they
Yeah,
never did, because I'd kind of finished it, then had them,
yeah.
unless I put on a video and they go, "Is that you, mama?" I'm like, "Yeah."
So cute. The last
Yeah.
question I always ask my guests on my podcast is if you could nominate someone to come on and impart their knowledge on the podcast and I'll reach out to them, who would it be?
Oh, oh my god. There's a couple of people sprung to mind there. First of all, Stuart Rogers, just because I'm so close to him and have been since first year of college. And
Yeah,
he's done so well. He's choreographing the biggest ship at the minute, The Wizard of Oz. I mean, how amazing is that?
insane. So
And
good.
then the other one I would say is Jared Hageman.
Okay.
I don't know him that well, but I think he's such a legend.
Yeah.
When you look at his career before he's got into choreography and teaching,
Yeah.
like that he's just done everything. And I was talking to him the other day, and he's saying, he's done stuff on Strictly. He's like his choreography side of life now is amazing. Like all the stuff he's done, and his classes look phenomenal as well. And I love his style. So I'd say them two. I've said two people, if that's all right.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much. Listen, thank you so much, Lucy. You've been an absolute pleasure. And
Oh, thanks
I
for
hope
me.
everyone listening has enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Bye, Lucy. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.